Jimmy Buffett left behind a legacy of laid-back party vibes and catchy sing-alongs, but his impact on the culinary world can't be overlooked. Here's how he turned his brand of island escapism into big business. The cornerstone enterprise that launched 1,000 ship-themed fast-casual eateries is, naturally, Margaritaville, a nationwide chain that captured the rollicking soul of Buffett's signature style. Named for his best-known sing-along song, the restaurant boasts 28 locations across North America and 5 in the Caribbean, allowing fans old and new to savor their own slice of paradise.
Basic, pure escapism from the humdrum and the dull routine of normal day life. Everybody wants to go where it's warm.
Every location has its own personality, creating a unique expression of the aesthetic, as YouTuber Eddie Burback discovered when he ate at 22 Margaritaville locations in the US. Even newbies to the seaside sensibility could enjoy fast casual dining in a space where the accent was firmly on the casual. The atmosphere may keep things light and festive, but it wasn't entirely smooth sailing getting Margaritaville out of the harbor. A first attempt in Gulf Shores, Alabama in 1985 failed to set sail. A second try in Key West was more successful and introduced a new dimension to the Jimmy Buffett universe. With coastal flavors and juicy cocktails that carry the island motif throughout the menu and supersized screens playing videos of Parrot Head favorites, Margaritaville is a plate full of fun that feels like a Jimmy Buffett concert with better food. True followers of the Jimmy Buffett philosophy can take to the high seas with Margaritaville at Sea Cruises. These luxury liners provide the peak of nautical relaxation with a laundry list of culinary adventures in tow. 3 casual eateries provide lineups similar to the Margaritaville restaurants, with a buffet called Port of Indecision continuing the familiar cruise ship trope. 3 specialty restaurants serve up pizza, superior steakhouse dishes, and coffee house delights. Cruisers can even order room service for an in-cabin picnic on the water. No matter what the occasion might call for, patrons will find menus offering fine fare prepared with easygoing fun in mind, a sweet distinction from the dining specs on some of the stuffier cruise lines. And what's a cruise without a generous selection of cocktails to help soften the edges and adjust the attitudes of its guests? Jimmy's ships are home to a nightclub, a dueling piano bar, a lounge with trivia and entertainment, 2 walk-up bars, and a bar and grill called, naturally, 5 o'clock somewhere. For gamblers with a taste for high stakes, Margaritaville Casinos add big winning action to the laid-back lifestyle. These gaming halls aren't limited to the usual places like Las Vegas or Atlantic City. The guitar-strumming businessman located a few of his casinos closer to his original Pascagoula, Mississippi hometown. The casino in the River Spirit Resort anchors down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the bells and whistles of a modern gambling site. The on-site restaurant offers a menu similar to the Margaritaville spread, with bar bites on the table and a bevy of beautiful beach beverages to keep the good times flowing.
Palm trees are coming to Bossier City.
Further south, the Margaritaville Resort and Casino helps bring low-key living to Bossier City, Louisiana. This premium hotel and casino combination offers 8 Jimmy-themed restaurants for high rollers to spend their winnings on. The cornerstone is Jimmy's Seafood and Steak, an award-winning dining room serving top-tier steak and seafood selections from the nearby Gulf of Mexico. High-quality wines and cocktails stand in for the usual boat drinks and beach beers beverage list, perfect for parrot heads trading in their board shorts for khakis. To bring the lyrics of one of his most beloved songs to life, the king of Somewhere Hot opened Cheeseburger in Paradise, a burger joint that made magic out of America's mouth-watering fast food specialty until the franchise was shuttered in 2020. The first spot opened in Indianapolis in 2002, with a company eventually expanding to 23 U.S. locations. The multifaceted menu, peppered with more than just beef and buns, featured 17 burger options, including a veggie burger that allows plant-based Buffett lovers to get in on the excitement. When your overall brand is based on a mixed drink, your roster should absolutely include a collection of premium beverages. Jimmy knew this and launched the most obvious product in the history of obviousness: Margaritaville brand spirits and drink mixers. A bottled drink line distilled in Mexico by the Sazerac Company includes citrusy silver and fruit-forward gold tequilas that add smooth verve to your favorite Rita recipes. Lazier landlubbers can also pour pre-mixed margs with all the juicy bits already included. The ever-enterprising entertainer also made sure his zero-proof parrot heads were taken care of. Margarita-flavored drink mixes provide alcohol-free refreshment for fans to sip as they sing along to the soundtrack of supreme slackery. They're perfect for mocktails that recreate the sun-soaked bliss without the brain-bending buzz. If hanging out poolside in the backyard is as close as you can get to a carefree beach setting, at least you can bring a taste of paradise along with you without needing to hire a bartender. Margaritaville Tropical Punch Malt beverages bring to mind salty breezes and sandy beaches with real cane sugar and a mellow 4% ABV. As with other strategic partnerships in the Margaritaville realm, the company taps into the legacy of drink dynamo Anheuser-Busch, which allows the company to swim alongside well-known names like Seagram. In a strange twist, the Seagram company came to own MCA Records, the label that Jimmy was signed to for most of his early career. The connection ended years before the Margaritaville malt beverage line hit the market, but it illustrates how the tangled tentacles of the Jimmy Buffett legacy have wrapped around some strange beach fellows. Landshark Lager is a nod to fins, the concert favorite that inspired parrot heads to turn into sharks by putting their open palms above their heads like dorsal fins. Though the label claims the lager is crafted by Margaritaville Brewing Company, the website informs visitors that Landshark is actually brewed by Anheuser-Busch. As VinePair explains, the beer producer was looking for a brew to compete against Corona, which Jimmy Buffett promoted in the mid-80s. Bottled beer was a natural addition to Buffett's burgeoning beverage catalog, though the difference between beer and cocktails drove the creative minds behind the Suds to create a separate brand for the product. After working through a few options, they tapped into the finhead trend that was already part of the Buffett mythology, and a new brew was born.
First thing what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab one of these cold Landsharks. It's a warm day out here.
Landshark later adapted to the ever-evolving beverage industry with Landshark Hard Seltzer, a can filled with fizzy fun, courtesy of Waterloo Brewing. Jimmy was instrumental in turning home bars into cantinas with the Margaritaville line of frozen drink machines. Frozen margaritas and more can be churned out of these branded blenders, which are officially known as concoction makers.
Straight out of the box, you are moments away from throwing a great party.
Models run the gamut from single drink chuggers to virtual bars that serve up 3 different formulations in a single device. There's no need to spring for a bartender when you have a mechanical countertop craftsman ready to get the good time swinging with the push of a button. The idea of marketing mixed drink machines to thirsty fans might seem like an easy reach, as well as a bit of a cheesy move, but the quality of these gadgets is reportedly above par. A USA Today review calls out the Margaritaville drink machine as an obsession-worthy kitchen contraption. Reviewer Samantha Gordon raves about how simple it is to use, saying, "To make a batch of cocktails or mocktails in this beast, it's as easy as using a regular blender, maybe even a little easier." You can capture the charm of the restaurant recipes without leaving your own isolated aisle thanks to Margaritaville, the cookbook. Authors Carlos Cernaglia and Julia Turshen aren't simply writers tasked with recreating the eatery's most popular dishes. Cernaglia is the chef who created the concepts for the restaurant, and Turshen is a James Beard Award-winning chef. Together, they bring a whopping 125 recipes sanctioned by the brand to a tome that captures the wit and whimsy of the menu's main dishes. Favorites from the Margaritaville tabletop, like volcano nachos, are featured, as well as favorites like Jimmy's Jam and Jambalaya. Followers without a Margaritaville restaurant nearby can cook up their own version of a seafaring smorgasbord, while dedicated diners can test their kitchen abilities and make homemade takes on their preferred feasts. For a free tour around the Harbor of Happiness, home cooks can also find a collection of recipes on the Margaritaville website, with step-by-step instructions for sliders, burgers, shrimp dishes, and more. Party people can plan their own menu from entrees to desserts. There's even a drink collection that includes coffees and smoothies, in addition to the usual suspects found on the sweet tropical beverage scene. Maybe you love the Jimmy Buffett tomfoolery, but you're new to the idea of tropical flavors filling your cup. And maybe you're not great at using your intuition or your taste buds to discern the breakdown of liquor-to-mixer ratios required to make your favorites. Author Olaf Nordstrom comes to the rescue with the essential book of boat drinks and assorted frozen concoctions, a compendium of colorful possibilities for making your own spirited sloshes. This title was sold exclusively at Margaritaville restaurants and among its online swag collection, but can now be purchased with a simple click of the Amazon app from whatever island you happen to be on. Internet listings for more collectible hardcover editions can be found as well for shoppers who are serious about their Jimmy Buffett memorabilia. Boat drinks are rum-based concoctions served on sailing vessels to anyone ready to raise a glass. While boat drinks are mandatory to celebrate a life well lived by a true captain of fun and frivolity, the boat itself is purely optional. It's just one more way to carry on the culture the vibrant vagabond created for his ardent admirers to enjoy. Fins up.